Who was it who let Clotilde wither away?
Quiet down. Be quiet. Clotilde can hear you and doesn't want that known. She's afraid. I understand that. She's defenseless.
But what are you talking about?
What were you thinking, Clotilde? It's all right now? Or why not before? Ah, you don't trust this young man. Why not? Yes, quite lively. Just as it should be, but certainly friendly and polite enough. Ah, the little boy.
What is Clotilde saying?
Clotilde says she may only confide our secret to the boy accompanying you.
Master?
Come closer, my child. So now you know it. Don't tell a soul. It's a secret.
The plant didn't say a thing.
Oh, is that right? How odd. I have no more questions about Anselmo.
Excellent. We'll let Anselmo rest in peace. He's earned it.
I would like to talk to Clotilde.
I believe your presence is intimidating her, brother.
I think I could get her to trust me.
Truly, I hope so. Not a bad idea. It would be good if she talked with someone else besides me. New friends would be good for her.
Fair enough. With your permission... She had something quite interesting to say.
You mean that about the demon living here at the Abbey, don't you?
Demon? Yes, that's it.
What else did she say?
What this demon has done.
Oh, yes. Clotilde knows of it. Of course she does. She owes her sorry state to him. The devil let her wither away. But she wasn't the first to succumb to the devil. No, gentlemen. And she won't be the last either.
What do you mean by that?
The devil abides in these walls now. A good place for him, isn't it? A high cliff with no opportunities to escape. It's clever, very clever. We're all going to die, one after the other. Oh, yes, and the boy shall be the first.
Brother, please.
I see fear in his eyes. The devil always begins with them. You know that, don't you? First the weak, and then...
I think that's enough.
Whatever you say. But one must always remain vigilant. Beware, mind you. He never takes his eyes off you. Oh yes, you never leave his sight.
I'll let you work in peace. Thank you for your time.
All right, it doesn't matter. Poor Clotilde.
Brother Gottfried.
What? Have you solved the mystery already?
Not yet. I've only gotten started.
Ah! Oh, in that case, I hope I can be of assistance to you.
Where can I get red ink?
Red ink? Oh, in the scriptorium, a second floor.
Thank you. It seems I will have to pull out all the stops in order to get into the scriptorium. May I ask you a few questions?
All right, but be brief.
According to what I've heard, you were one of the brothers who held the censer when Anselmo died.
Regretfully, yes. I had the misfortune to be there. A horrible sight. His body crushed by the gift from the abbot of San Nicodemo. His blood everywhere.
Spare yourself the details, brother. Just because I didn't see the body doesn't mean that I don't know what the fall of a large censer can do to a person. There. Do you believe that the censer crashing down was an accident?
I don't know. Nicholas, Igilio and I were the only ones holding the censer. Oh!
What's happened?
The thought just occurred to me that perhaps it was all our fault.
In what way?
Oh, maybe Anselmo would still be alive if we had used a stronger rope. Oh, my God!
The abbot was there with Anselmo, wasn't he?
Oh, yes.
Could you hear what they were talking about?
I'm not sure, but if I remember correctly, I think that Anselmo told the abbot about the lights in the library.
Lights? What are you talking about?
Oh, they're there! You've just arrived, so you're not up to date on the rumors that have been circulating recently about the library here.
So that's what this is about. The abbot mentioned something to that effect, but he didn't want to go into detail.
I tell you, but I don't think the boy should hear anything about it.
And why not?
Well, what I'm going to say might give him nightmares.
He sleeps with me. I'll run the risk.
You know, it was only recently that from here you could see lights coming out of the library at night. Oh, and not only that, odd sounds were heard too.
Who saw them?
All you have to do is ask. Oh, yes, many claim to have seen the lights. Anselmo was one of them. You know who. He was the gatekeeper. That's why he was the last to go to bed.
You have some kind of theory about this?
Oh, and now the eerie part comes. I wanted to avoid having the child hear it. Many years ago, the librarian was found dead outside the edificium. Everything pointed to suicide, and as you yourself know, the Lord takes none to him who have forfeited the divine gift of life, which is why the librarian wasn't buried in the cemetery.
What does that have to do with the strange lights?
Don't you understand? It could be that it was the librarian's heartfelt wish to rest among his brothers in the cemetery. Therefore, his spirit shall wander eternally because he feels he has the right to rest near his brothers.
One moment. Are you telling me that a phantom is haunting the library?
Of course. What else could all that howling be that no one seems able to explain?
The howling of a soul that finds no peace.
Yes!
In that case, what do the lights mean?
That's the spirit's glowing aura.
Seriously, brother, do you truly believe what you're saying?
I don't know what I'm supposed to say to that, but I do believe there's some truth behind it. Lots of us do.
I have no more questions. That's all I wanted to know. For the moment. Go on. You're doing excellent work.
Thank you.
Brother,
Yes?
can't you make an exception for me?
That would be unpermissible. It would be against the rules. I'm sorry, brother, but I believe I put it clearly.
Ah, a copyist. Remember how you had me write down? I must use my brain to think once. I had to write it down 100 times.
Tell me, Brother Marcello, what requirements must my novice fulfill to be accepted as an apprentice copyist?
Your novice? Are you talking about this novice?
Yes, he belongs to your order. Indeed, that's the very reason his father, the Count of Capra Negra, entrusted him to me. His dream is to become a magnificent copyist at the Abbey. Isn't that right, Bruno? Isn't that right, Bruno?
Huh. Yes.
Well,
There's no rule that prohibits an apprentice from being allowed to enter the second floor, is there?
true, there isn't.
Fabulous, brother. He's going to become an accomplished copyist. Tell me, please, what does my novice need in order to be accepted as an apprentice copyist?
Well then, he has to copy a page from a book. The first page of Hortus Tuus. Naturally, the copy must be a translation into Latin, because the original was written in Greek.
Hortus Tuus, you say?
It's a work about botany, a tract on medicinal plants.
That's a good title. Where can I get that book?
Speak with Godfrey, my assistant. He'll get it for you.
Master, am I really going to become a copyist?
It would be better for you if you did, because if you don't make the grade, we'll never be let into the scriptorium.
I'm going to become the best copyist in our order. I'll be greater than Beatus de Labana. People are going to cry when they look at my miniatures.
Oh yes, cry they will, Bruno. I don't doubt that.
What do you mean by that?
Forget it. May I ask you a few questions about Anselmo?
I know what the abbot has given you to do. You can ask what you like about Anselmo.
What do you think about Anselmo? Do you have to think about that, brother?
Yes, I wanted to describe Anselmo in a single sentence, but I think it's impossible for me to do it.
I don't understand you.
Look, brother, I don't know if you know this. Perhaps you've already spoken about Anselmo with someone else from the Abbey. It doesn't matter. I'd swear on a stack of Bibles that all of them are going to tell you about his unacceptable arrogance.
What is that supposed to mean? Unacceptable.
All right. Perhaps I went too far when I described his attitude as unacceptable, but a bit of modesty would have gotten him more respect from the other brothers.
How did the attitude you're referring to manifest itself?
Oh, that! He boasted about how well-read he was. Oh, yes, he always corrected other brothers when they pronounced something wrong, or he reproached them sharply when they didn't know something like a psalm or a historical detail. Oh, do you know what I mean?
Very well.
I don't believe that his intentions were completely wrong. Not everyone here has the same level of education. You'll grasp that when you speak with Egidio, for example. As I said, the reprehensible thing wasn't his intention. It was the way he behaved. On the other hand, he visited the library often. He constantly tried to increase his knowledge. That's to his credit. It would be nice if the common folk had the same thirst for knowledge.
If he were perhaps granted access to the library...
What? Are you joking?
The abbot implied that Anselmo's death could have been something other than a coincidence.
He said that to me. Indeed he did.
And what's your opinion about that?
I don't know what I should say. I don't believe that one of our brothers would deliberately be out to kill a fellow brother.
That makes sense. It would be against the rules.
Yes, against all the rules. That's the point. I presume that the abbot has also mentioned something to you that you shouldn't take lightly.
Are you referring to the idea that the devil feels at home in the Abbey?
This is a serious topic, brother. We all know that evil has been wreaking havoc all over this unfortunate world since time began. But of all places, why here at this humble Abbey?
Evil does not distinguish between one place and the next.
Oh, that's certainly true. But if so many wars, attacks, lootings, and rapes are taking place outside, isn't it logical that he would prefer to reign like that, and not within these walls?
A good theory.
To be honest, yet without wanting to contradict the abbot, I must tell you that I do not share his opinion.
If that's the case, what do you think about Anselmo's death?
I don't know what I should think. But it's not my task to root around in such matters. I serve our Lord by looking after the library.